Welcome to step 4 of the French braid cornrow style with weave. In this step, I will be showing you how to curl the ends of your braids. First, I will show you the type of rollers that you will be using to do so, and then I will show you safe practices when curling the ends of your braids. To curl the ends of your braid extensions, you will be using plastic hair rollers to do so. The technical name for these rollers are called cold water wave rollers. We will be rolling the ends of our braids and dipping them in hot water to achieve a curly look. I will be using 2 different sizes of rollers simply because when you use one consistent size of roller throughout your entire head, you increase the chance of your curls clumping and forming together. I want my curls to be distinct and separate, so that is why I will be using 2 separate size rollers. The blue rollers are a 1/4 inch in size and the white rollers are in 1/2 inch in size. When you are rolling the ends of your braids to achieve the curl that you would like, I suggest that you use hair rollers at the max an inch in size. The reason why is because usually when you use bigger rollers to curl your hair with hot water, the curl will lay flat or it won't stay as long as what you hope for. So the smaller size a roller is, the tighter the curl will be, and also the longer amount of time the curl will actually last. So for the perfect curl combination, I will be using a 1/4 inch roller and a 1/2 inch roller to roll my hair. So to curl the ends of your braids, we will be using both size rollers. You could start off with the smaller roller or you could start off with the 1/2 inch roller in size. Whichever you start with, you want to continue the same pattern throughout your entire braids. So if your first braid is with the smaller roller, then the next braid needs to be with your bigger roller. And then you will just continue to repeat the pattern so that they're mixed match along the way. So first, I will just go ahead and pick one and start off with the smaller roller. So now you're just gonna take this plunger piece off and grab your first braid. My suggestion when you are curling the ends of your extensions is to only curl up about 1/3 of what the braid is left at the bottom. So I'm just gonna grab my first braid on the side and explain to you a little bit more. So you could probably maybe see how long my braid is, and what you want to do is slide your fingers down to give you a marker of the 3rd bottom part of your braid. So when I stop about here, I'm about 2/3 down my braid, and the braid at the bottom is about 1/3 of what my braid length is. So where my fingers are is the marker at how far up you want to go. The reason why is because when you dip the ends of your braids in hot water, you don't want the rollers up too far close to your neck because the steam could potentially burn you or the hot water itself can potentially burn you. So it's always safe to make sure you go 2/3 of the way down your extensions and let that be your marker of how far up you will go on your braid. So now you're just going to take your roller and you can position it where the piece kind of hangs to this side or this side. It honestly doesn't matter. So I'm just going to take the roller and I'm going to put it at the front of the braid. So you're going to grab the tail end of your braid and place your roller firmly there. And I like to position it in the middle. It doesn't really matter just as long as you roll the braid. So I'm just going to position it there, and then I'm going to wrap this tail end around until it's completely wrapped around the roller. When I bring this tail end back around the roller, I want to make sure that it's positioned directly behind this braid, simply because when I continue to roll the braid, the very tip will be tucked in as well. So now that I have the tail end positioned directly behind the braid, I'm just going to roll it straight up and roll my entire roller. Just be sure to roll the braids as flat as possible as you can until you get about 1/3 of the way up from the bottom. So that's about how far I want to go. And now I'm just going to take the end of the plunger of my roller and insert it onto the other side of my roller. And now my first braid has been rolled. Do the same process over the rest of your braids, but make sure to follow a pattern of small roller, big roller, small roller, big roller. Next, I will show you how to actually curl the ends of the hair with hot water. Okay, so now that you have rolled the ends of your braids with your plastic rollers, we are going to now curl the ends of our braids. Before you curl the ends of your braids, just know that you have to be extremely careful when dealing with hot water, simply because the steam itself can burn you or the hot water can spill on you and burn you. Normally when I curl the ends of my extensions, I use a big bowl of hot steaming water and I dump all of the ends of my braids or twists into that water to curl them. Now I have been doing that for a long time, but I suggest that especially if you are a beginner, to only use a small amount of water at once, making sure to concentrate on what you need to concentrate on. If you are not careful, you could hurt yourself with hot water. So just know that your safety and your health is in your hands and you must be extremely careful. So what I suggest is that you use a cup of water and only a small amount of water. As you can see, I did not fill it to the tip top because I don't want unnecessary water to spill. And also, when you put the ends of your braids in the water, it would naturally fill up because you're adding more to the cup of water. So use a cup that has a handle that does not get hot. If at any time you need to grab your cup of hot water, you want to reach for a handle that isn't hot. Also, you want to make sure that you have a towel with you so that you can dry the ends of your twist. Once you pull the ends of your braids out of the water, the hot water could drip on you or the steam could really bother you. So you want a towel for protection and also to dry off any hot water on your braids. So now that you have all of them rolled, we're just going to start on one side. And I just divided it kind of equal so I can have two bunches to concentrate on at once. So what you want to do when you're going to curl your hair is make sure that you're not leaning on the surface where your water is. Simply because if I put all of my weight on my table or wherever my water may be, it's a possibility that I could shake the cup and the water could just spill on me. So what you want to do is make sure that you're clearly away from the surface and you're not dependent by leaning on a surface where your water is. You want to grab the side of the braids that you will be concentrating on, and I will concentrate on these braids. And what you want to do when you lean in is not to dump them all at once, but to bring them in one at a time. Also, you want to make sure that you lean your head at a slight angle so that because the steam rises directly up, it will not burn your scalp. If I lean directly over my cup, the steam could really bother me. So just lean to the side and also make sure your towel is in front of you. So when you pull your braids out, the steam and water will not drip on your skin. So I'm just going to rest my towel here, making sure I do not lean on my table. Grab my braids, lean to the side, and dip them in one at a time. So after you have put your section of braids into the water, just push them down as far as you can without touching the water. Grab your braids and then just dunk them down further in the water to release any air bubbles so that the hair is as saturated as possible. Next, what you want to do is grab your towel and make sure to cover the front of you, because when you pull the rollers out of the water, the steam will come up and the water will drip. So with my towel already positioned in front of me, I'm going to lift my head up slightly, grab my braids, and guide myself to my towel. So now as I'm pulling these rollers out, the towel is in front of me and I know the water will not drip on me. So now I'm just going to come forward, take my towel and wrap it around the twist. Next, you just want to squeeze the rollers to make sure you get as much water out as you possibly can. The towel will feel warm, but it will not be hot. If the towel is extremely hot, I highly suggest that you grab a thicker towel so that you will not feel the hot water from your braids. So after I've squeezed them enough, I'm just going to open this up to make sure there is no dripping water. And it looks good. You can tell there's steam coming from my braids, but since you squeeze all of the water out, it's not as hot than what it originally was. So now next, with the side that I've already dried off, I'm going to unravel one twist at a time and snip the frayed, fraggly ends for a beautiful curl. So just take one of your rollers, carefully take the plunger off, and then just unroll your curl. So now if your ends look a little bit unruly, take your scissors and just snip the ends that need to be snipped, and repeat the same process for all of your rolled curls. After you have finished dipping your twist in your hot water and unraveling them for your curl, in the next step, I will show you the finished results of your cornrow French braid with weave.